Who controls a school, and when do you know if a school is doing its job properly? When do you know if your student, if your child, is succeeding? Well, there are some very demonstrable ways. They get good exam results. They get they further their academic career. Those are the marks by which we know that that a student has been well taught, and or a student has learnt. I think we shouldn't be focusing on the teaching. We should be focusing on the learning. So what role does Ofsted have to play? I don't think Ofsted has any role to play at all in a school system. I think Ofsted is fundamentally a negative aspect of our modern day schooling. And we already have the levers and the powers inbuilt into the school system. It's called the senior management. And if that isn't working, that needs replacing. It doesn't work better because there's a group of people coming to the school and putting the school under extreme pressure, not just for a week while they're there, but for the few weeks, even the month before they arrive, that anticipation, which can change the whole nature of a school. And that anticipation lingers then for a further 2 or 3 months. It's that time when teachers inevitably go to pieces, some of them leave, and it's quite right for Ofsted now to be apologising, late, but right, to be apologising for the role that it played in Ruth Perry's suicide, and its promise to review what it's learnt. Well, the only way to review what it's learnt is to realise that it's unnecessary and that it doesn't do its job properly. And if Ofsted is going to function, then it has to function as some sort of invisible presence, not as something which comes in clod-hopping, thudding around like some sort of Lee Anderson manifestation. Nothing good comes from that. Give me one good that comes from an Ofsted inspection. I can't think of one. All it does is to cause harm and to cause anxiety. Anxiety is not a way forward. Anxiety is the one thing that we actually don't want in a school. Anxiety takes us back to the way of teaching, possibly of the 1950s, 1960s, early 1970s. It was recognised as not being efficacious. It is simply a limit on education, not a motivator. And Ofsted, therefore, is something from the past, and it should be consigned to the past. The fact that Ofsted has now had some sort of minute training session, some sort of inset day of its own, isn't going to make it a better institution. It's going to restart inspections on the 22nd, so it's got out its apology early. It doesn't mean anything, it's just words. And those words should be, well, it's good to hear the apology, but other than the apology, those words should be obliterated, along with Ofsted itself. Ofsted is functionless. And Sir Martin Oliver is leading an organisation that should be scrapped.